Hello folks, good afternoon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while though. You'd say I haven't been around in a while. I've not been feeling fine though, but I'm better now. Very much okay now. So although I've been trading though, but haven't really had time to be able to talk about a lot of things on this channel. Well, that's cool. So today I will be touching several pairs. I'll be looking at series of pairs in Forex. I wouldn't be talking about features today. I mean the indices, but I'll go more on Forex today. So first, this is DXY. So I've been bearish on this pair for a long time now. So let's just go down to what we have today. So first, you can see how last week we had this breakdown here, okay, and forming this fair value gap. Okay, let me go down to the monthly. Let's start from there because it's been quite a while though. So let's start kind of to refresh our brain. So at first, I think the previous times when I was posting, we had this nice rejection from this inefficiency right here, and price rejected and then ran higher, okay, up to this and then rejected to the downside. So from that point, we are calling it bearish, expecting this low to be taken out and to see lower prices, okay, and also a full closure on this inefficiency right here. So now, dropping down to the weekly time frame, see that nice rejection here. It's completely closed this fair value gap here and then rejected, then dropped lower. Okay, so now my eyes goes to this candle right here, this proportion block right here. Okay, that's what I'm paying attention to from the weekly time frame. So understanding that, I'm looking at the low of this candle, okay, and as it engulfed like this, okay, I'm looking at price return into it and then send us lower. So going down to daily time frame, this is right here. So now last week was CPI, okay, so that was where we had this move down here, and at first we were in a consolidation phase here, rejecting from this other block right here, and then we dropped hard and left this inefficiency here and this gap. So I'm also paying attention to that here, this inefficiency and this gap right here. So those are two things I'm paying attention to right now. So now you might be looking at this as an equal high, but first, before you consider that, you have to understand context. Okay, context in the sense that we've been in a consolidation. So this is a balanced price range. Okay, this is a balanced price range. So it will not be reasonable for price to go above it. Okay, so that's why I'm trusting this high to be intact, this swing high to be intact, and then price reacting from this inefficiency here. Okay, but don't forget, we're not trying to push any narrative. We're waiting for the market to show what it has for us, then we engage. Okay, so now this is 4 hour time frame. At first, we had this rejection here, first on Friday, and then we have this other block right here. But I won't be surprised if we have one more run above here. I would like one more run above here to sweep this high and then tap into this other block that we had on the weekly time frame and then send us lower. So I'm looking at for lower prices. I'm looking for lower prices on DXY. So the lower prices I'm looking for is got it from the weekly time frame, which is I think was it weekly? I think on the monthly time frame. Okay, I'm looking at this gap right here. This gap right here. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. This volume balance right here. Looking for it to drop price into it. Okay, for the monthly. So now, having that in mind, since we are bearish on the DXY, what does that call for the EURUSD and GBPUSD? That is bullish. So now, let me clear this chart. So we'll start from the beginning. So first, this is the monthly time frame. Okay, we can see that on the monthly, we still have a lot of buy side liquidity to be taken. Yeah, we have relative equal high on the long term. Okay, but first, we are looking at this inefficiency here. Okay, we're looking at this inefficiency here, and for short term, probably next week, looking at this series of up close handle here also. Okay, as a draw. So now going down to daily time frame, to the weekly time frame rather. So our price run into this inefficiency right here and then got rejected. So let me mark that out here. Had this nice rejection here. Price traded down into this last down close candle and then left. So now I'm looking at this series of down close candles here. I'll pay attention to that. Open series of down close candle here. So how price closed above it and then rejected from it. Okay, that's sensitive to me. So dropping down to daily time frame. Since we are bearish on DXY, so it's reasonable for us to be bullish on EURUSD. So now we have this inefficiency right here, okay, and this other block right here. Why am I using this other block and not this one? Because this one has a lower body than this. Okay, so I'm using this right here, coupled with this fair value gap here. So I'll be using this candle, this particular one, and then this inefficiency here on the daily. So kind of I'm waiting for price to drop into it. I would love that and send us higher. So going down to the 4-hour time frame, looking at it from the from premium discount perspective, from this low to this high, we've traded into discount already, okay, and then rejected. We can run off from here, but I doubt that will be the case because of those lows that we have on the daily time frame. So kind of expecting price to drop down into this inefficiency again, then that should send us higher to our target for the week. Don't forget, we are not trying to rush anything. We're not trying to press our will into the market, but rather we're waiting for the market to show us its hands, then we engage. Okay, so it can still drop and just start selling so hard. That's a very big possibility. So that's why you have to be patient and wait for price to come to you, okay, before you do anything. So let's go down to next will be the GBPUSD. That will be next. I think it's kind of hanging. Next will be GBPUSD. I think it's kind of lagging right now. So, okay. So now, next is GBPUSD. Let me clear my charts. So we are bullish. We are bearish on the dollar. So meaning that we are bullish on the on other currencies such as GBPUSD. So now I'm looking at this high right here as a drawn liquidity. I can see this high also. We are very close to it already. So I'm not expecting price to pump into it and return and drop lower. But rather I'm expecting high prices that will just break it and keep going higher. Okay, because of what we've got from the DXY and the EURUSD. So expecting this one to fall in line with it also. Okay, so first I have this weekly order block. Why is this another block? Because we have this candle closure last week above the open of this closure right here makes this an order block. So a return into it very significant to send us higher for the week. Okay, so now drawing down to the daily time frame, you can see we've been consolidating just as same as we had on the DXY. So first we traded into this inefficiency here and then rejected. Now price returned to this last down close candle and left and returned again deeper into it. But we look at where the bodies are closing. Bodies are closing above the open and the wicks are doing the damage. So the bodies tell the story, the wick do the damage. That's normal ICT. So now, having that in mind, this last down close candle rejected price here and we closed above it, above this particular one. Why is this the other block and not this? This is lower, has a lower body than this. We're not talking about this right now. We're talking about since we have a rejection, since we've had a rejection, this is what I'll be looking at right now. Okay, so looking at this candles open, coupled with this weekly here, dropping down to the 4-hour time frame. So we're expecting price to maybe from here send us higher or consolidate a little bit or even trade lower again and then send us higher. But this particular one is not too clear. Okay, it's not as clear as the Euro USD, so I'll probably stick with EU than this one. Okay, I'm looking at this series of down close candles too, so we can have a deep dive here, trade into it, and then send us higher. But that would be rare. That's not most likely going to happen. Okay, if we stay above this candle is enough to do the work. But if it wants to drop also, the drop is not a break of structure. Okay, it's just to fake out people that doesn't understand context. Okay, only to just send us higher here after making them sell. Okay, so what next? I think I will touch on I wanted to talk about the UJ, but I wouldn't be talking about UJ today, so I would stick to other ones. I'll talk about gold, the almighty gold. So last week we had this rejection here. Last week, initially we've been bullish on gold. Okay, we've been bullish on gold, and currently I'm watching this candle right here. Okay, because last week we had this run up and closed above this, and also because of the news you can hear about the war news and all that. So that's whenever things like that happen, it increases gold's price. It makes gold start running higher. Okay, so that's part of the reason why I stick to being bullish on this asset. Okay, so in as much as we are so high in price, like so high, this is very abnormal. The bullishness of gold is very abnormal. I can't even lie, but we don't have a choice in this market. We just follow what it gives us, and that's why you have to be careful whenever you're trading and just don't rush in anytime. Okay, you have to have context to what you're doing, have to have price direction, have to have things in check first before making any move. So now I'm looking at this last down close candle here, and I'm also aiming for this buy side liquidity. Okay, buy side liquidity right here. We rejected from this last down close candle here. Why is this the order block? Why do you call this the order block? Because it has a lower body than all these black candles here, and it's bigger. So I'll choose this. Okay, so when price was trading inside it, I wasn't looking bullish. I was looking at it absorbing the volume of this order block, then sending it higher on the later times. And now we have this down candle here, so I'm paying attention to that also now. So dropping down to the daily time frame. Okay, at first we had this price run into this inefficiency right here. I think the last video I posted, I talked about this sometime on gold, trading into this breaker block right here, and then rejected higher, traded down again, and dropped into this last down close candle. That's the order block here. Why is this the order block? Because it has a lower body than this, and it's larger. So I'll be using this. When price traded into it, and we rejected higher, market also shifted here, and then we dropped lower into this order block right here. Okay, this is larger than this, so I'll be using this. So when price traded into it, we had this nice swing rejection and we pushed higher. So now with what we had on the weekly time frame, this was that price I marked out on the weekly time frame. So coupling that with this inefficiency right here, that makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, to maintain bullishness in this price, in this asset class. Okay, so now when we have any drop into this inefficiency here and the series of down close candles here, that would be a very good opportunity for us to go longs for the week. So dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, let me refine it a little bit more. So inside this is the inefficiency on the daily time frame, this pink line here, and also this is a 4-hour order block. Okay, this also is good, but we have liquidity resting below it, so I wouldn't be trusting this. I would rather use this. Okay, I'd rather use this because it converts. That's where we have a clustering of that's where we have the confluence being right in the weekly time frame, and these ones are lower time frame price actions. Okay, so and also paying attention to the series of down close candles here. This series of down close candle, that's an order block. So whenever price trades into it, into this area here, I mean this from here, whenever price trades into it, it's working inside another block. Okay, either the upper portion of it or anywhere around here, it's still working inside this other block right here. okay, and that could probably send us higher. So that's just my analysis on gold, and we can just open and keep shooting higher. It's very, very possible. Very, 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 very possible. So when it does that, you don't chase price, you wait. You wait for some kind of sweep on a low or some kind of manipulation, then resume higher. So I think that's all for the day. I just touched, I think, four asset classes right now, or five. So this should be able to help you have a profitable week. And with that being said, I wish you guys happy and good trading week also. Be careful, guys. Don't rush. Wait, have patience, and wait for price to come to you. And also be ready to change gears whenever the market changes gears. Don't be married to your bias. Never, ever, ever be married to your bias. Always be flexible so you can be able to stay long term in this game. So have a nice day, guys, and I wish you guys happy trading week. Peace.